come over. Suddenly, you see hopping from behind one tree to another a sleek figure, someone who looks to be very agile. They've got flowing golden hair that is about down to middle of their back.
Legolas.
Yes, it's Legolas. Their hair in the front is kind of pulled over to a side and tied behind their head. You just get a brief glimpse of them as they appear from behind one tree and then immediately disappear behind another tree. Almost unnaturally fast. It looks like they moved from one tree to the other about 15 feet apart in maybe half a second. You just see them step out and then they kind of fade, and then you see them reappear next to this tree right as they disappear behind it.
All right. So, of course, I'm going to warn the party, but I'm going to tell Dala to just keep her eyes on that side.
Okay. On the other entity's turn, there's another cackling laugh, this time from further up the ridge, more just straight in front of you guys. As they go at the top of the round, they rolled a little bit higher than a 17 on their initiative. You hear the laughter. All of you, your stuns end at the start of your turn. And you see a person step out from behind a tree, maybe 35 feet in front of you guys. He has a bow on his back with a quiver. He doesn't currently have the bow in his hands. On his side, he's got a warhammer on just like a hilt on his hip. So it's massively large. Looks a little ridiculous having a warhammer on your hip instead of your back. And he's walking as if it's weightless. It doesn't bother him whatsoever as he kind of saunters forward to you guys about 35 feet away. And he goes, "Hello there, what's the problem?" Haley, Cyrell, you're up.
I'm going to whisper, Haley, speak to him. You're good with words.
I will say one of the very few things that you're able to gather when you immediately look at him is that he is elvish. He is an elf. Elven. He's an elf.
Where did you come from?
Oh, that's a great question that I'm not going to answer. I came from over there. And he nods over towards the ridge that he was behind a moment ago.
I don't turn my head.
He responds, "Where'd you come from?"
I think it's pretty obvious, don't you think?
Make a charisma check, not even persuasion. Just charisma. So roll and add your charisma modifier and proficiency, because you're a bard. You're not a bard. Sorry, you're a warden. A charismatic character.
7.
7. Okay. Yeah, he leaves you with that question. Is that sort of wraps up your turn. Cyrell?
I have my shield and my sword up like this. Are you responsible for the cackling?
He chuckles, and it's a very familiar chuckle. Yes, I am, sir. Yes, I am. Do you make it a habit of pointing swords at people who laugh?
That laugh had darkness or shadow within it. Or do you have shadow within
Friend,
you?
this forest has shadow within it. I assure you, I do not.
I fully trust this guy.
Can I do an insight check?
Yes, you can. Make an insight roll.
Okay. Will also gives me advantage, so I imagine Will comes beside me with Flicker and he's whispering to me to see if we should trust him or not. So I get a 17.
17. So yeah, Will pulls Flicker up beside you, and he tells you something about this guy gives him the willies, just makes his skin crawl a little bit, and it reinforces the feeling that you have that something's off about this guy, and so you spend a little bit extra time looking into his eyes, analyzing his words. He does not appear to be trying to deceive you right now.
Stay on your guard, team.
Dala, is there anything you would like to do? For this round, yes, we're still going in order, and then we'll see if we need to break initiative or keep going. What would you like to do, Dala?
So if we can trust you, then why didn't you come out the first time that I yelled out to you?
Make a persuasion check. Make a persuasion check.
15.
15. You ask that question, and he kind of cocks his head to the side a little bit, kind of studies you for a moment. That's a fair question. Fair question. What did you say your name was again?
Dala.
Dala. Nice to meet you, Dala.
Nice to meet you. But
Now, wasn't that so hard? We can greet people. She said her name is Dala. It's wonderful to meet her. You over there, dwarf. What's your name?
I said, I'm not going to share nothing with you. You got them shadow in India, and I'm going to get them out with this hammer if you don't start to tell me who you are and what you're doing out here in these woods.
I thought you fully trusted him, Dorf.
That was deception. Lower him into a false sense of security by saying, I fully trust you.
Make an intimidation check for me.
Okay. Oh, baby. And that's at disadvantage because I'm a little sleepy. Oh, baby. Okay, here we go, guys. A 3.
A 3. He lets out a laugh similar to the cackle you heard by the ridge. And he goes, Dwarf, I mean no offense, but I've killed people who could very easily kill you. So that was cute.
He said you're cute.
Well, nothing cute about me. I'm a man. Does manly things.
I'm a man.
Everyone who says that they're a man who emphasizes it, they have a strong self-image and they don't need to be quiet because
around that time, the 6 seconds of your round off. You notice the elf's eyes flicker up to the treetops, and he goes, "Hey, you there? What say you, Edrel?"
I stay quiet.
Stay quiet. It's going to be like that, is it? So for the moment, we're going to break initiative. Anyone who wants to speak up or say something, feel free. I'll maintain the initiative order that we have in case this devolves into a fight.
So I'm going to lean back to Dala because I'm still kind of with her. I'm going to kind of speak to her. I say, it seems like you've been the one to get this guy to talk the most. So maybe see if you can get some more information from him. But don't tell him too much. I heard names have power. And the more you share, the more you can use against us.
After you say that to me, I'm like, I'm not scared of him. I already shared my name. And if he's going to use that against me, all right, then let's fight.
Yeah. Clobbering time.
He takes about 5 steps forward towards you guys. He almost like fluid, like water, reaches down and unhooks his warhammer from his belt, and he just kind of slings it over his shoulder as he takes about 5 steps towards Dala and Nebuchadnezzar as you guys stand next to each other about the closest to him of anyone in the party. You're now about 30 feet away from him. And he walks forward a little bit. Dala said that was your name. Let me try this again. The Hobbit didn't really share much. Why are you guys in the Mirkwood?
I climb down the tree. I put my sword, my shield. I take them off. I put them on the side. I put my bow on the side. I sit on the ground and I ask him, "What do you want? What's your goal?"
Fair question. Ladies first. Dala, why are you in the Mirkwood?
Edrihel still says that though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, he does. His response is ladies first, and he goes back to his question that he asked you.
Oh, okay. I kind of just like, I'm like, Edrihel, don't say anything else. I got this. Why? I ask, he doesn't have a name, right?
Not right now, no.
Okay.
District.
Well, all right. So I look at him and I'm like, okay, well, what's it to you? Why do you want to know?
Edrihel, you're able to follow what happens next. Everyone else, in the blink of an eye, his figure disappears from in front of you. Completely. You don't see him. Edrihel, you recognize this as old elven magic. As he suddenly has a wisp of his hair kind of flicker, almost as if there's wind rushing past him, as he disappears. And Dala, the hair on the back of your neck stands up as you hear a voice maybe 1 foot from behind you say, "Because I'm trying to decide if I'm supposed to kill you," as he appears directly behind you to answer your question.
I run forward a little and then I
I run. That's it.
run. No,
That's the question, you're like,
it's more like, you kind of like run and then you kind of like kneel over and turn around quickly because I have my short bow out. So I'm like, so I like run forward a little and then I like turn around quickly.
Yeah.
And like, and then I'm just like, I don't know, like it's on, I'm ready.
Cyrell canters his horse a little bit towards them and tells the party, "Everyone hold. Look, Elf, we don't mean to fight you. We just want to know more about your intentions. What is your name?"
Dala's like, "I mean to fight you."
Yeah, let's go.
Are you stuck in the circle too?
He looks at you. No, I am not stuck in the circle. That's a creative name for it. I like it. It's held you
Did
for
you
about.
cause the circle?
We'll get to that later.
So you did.
He looks up at you, Cyrell. You there on the horse. Can see you're a man of intuition. What does your intuition tell you about me? Make an insight check with advantage.
Sure. 17.
17. This is partly tied with your getting a feeling or an idea about something when you meet a new person. So that's part of the reason for the advantage. You look at him and you don't feel a presence of darkness coming from him. You feel uneasy, but your unease is because of unfamiliarity with the level of power that he has, the almost toying nature that he appears to have with you guys right now. But he doesn't seem malevolent.
I lean a little bit towards him, still on my horse, and I stare into his eyes. This might be uncomfortable for some, but I'm just gazing. And then all of a sudden, I kind of gather myself straight up. I believe you are not evil, but we have not encountered someone of your abilities before. Again, we do not mean you no harm and would not wish to encounter any harm at your hand. Will you help us? We are trapped.
Make a persuasion roll with advantage because you did actually succeed on your insight check.
That's a 5.
Over your 2 rolls, man.
I got a 4 and a 6, and I got a -1 charisma.
That's phenomenal.
I love it.
He looks at you and he kind of chuckles. Yeah. Well, you're right, but okay. Charade's over. You got me. I trapped you here. Sorry, not sorry. It was for your own good. Is that believable? Probably not without more information, right? Yeah, I had a feeling. I probably didn't introduce myself well. That's on me. That I accept that. I apologize. All right. My name I will share if all of you share yours first.
My name is Hill, sir. Nice to meet you.
The elf does speak.
My name is Sarah.
When you say nice to meet you, he responds with Magavanan, which is a greeting in Elvish. What'd you say your name is?
Sarah.
Make a deception check.
I don't see it
Don't see what.
on the skills list. Oh, there it is.
Alphabetical order.
It's like the
It's
fourth.
alphabetical.
21.
21.
Okay. Sarah. Okay. And he looks at you, Cyril, up on the horse.
My name is Cyrell. I point to Will. He is boy.
Boy.
Is that okay?
Okay. And Nebuchadnezzar, what are you saying?
I say Silver Dune, which is my last name.
Silver.
I don't. Yep, and I do not give him my first name.
Silverdune. That's actually that's a name that I recognize, believe it or not. Done many dealings with the dwarves. Good family.
Oi.
My name is Maglor. Maglor. For those of you who are taking notes.
Does he spell it for us?
I just this guy's block like a piece of puncher. They're like, when you like.
Yes. He sees Cyrell pull out a quill and ink, and he's like, M-A.
He's like, okay, let me.
Is there a silent E in there somewhere? Okay.
There's an E, it's got an accent aigu, and then an I, and then a U.
Gotcha.
All of those are silent. And it's pronounced Smith. Okay. My name is Maglor. I'm an emissary of a quiet organization that operates from the south. One of the things that we do is keep an eye on some of the darker areas of the Mirkwood. Now, the Elven realm to the north is theirs. We try and keep an eye on the dark dealings that take place in the heart of the Mirkwood and also southern Mirkwood. We noticed your party entering our area about a week ago. We've been following you. More particularly, I've been following you. There was a danger up ahead on the path. I got the sense that you guys weren't ready for it. and something motivated me to stop you. Rather than make myself known at first, I devised a little plan to waste your time.
Oi,
I
and
apologize for the charade, but I had a feeling that if I approached you and warned you, you would either ask for my help, which I cannot give, or stubbornly charge ahead. Does Nebuchadnezzar actually nod?
yes.
Can you tell us what the danger is and we decide for ourselves if we're ready for
The
it?
danger has passed. That was the purpose of the stalling.
Oh, you ruined all our fun. Now, why don't you go your own way, Mr. Maglor, and we'll go our way. We're not going to loot your villages. We're not here for that. We're here for a single reason. That's to smite some evil shadow beast, whatever may be out here. You don't appear to be that, at least not now. So why don't you just go your own way, we'll go our way, and we'll just pretend this whole thing never happened. Besides, I think this woods is big enough for all of us. I don't see why you have to have all the fun.
You mistake my intentions. I am neither a toll or gatekeeper person. I am merely here to study, observe, and to find out why you came into the Mirkwood. I'm not here to stop you.
Well, you've done a pretty good job at it so
Can
far.
you just explain why he stopped us?
Thank you. I like Sarah.
Cyrell sheaves his sword and says, "Our apologies. The dwarf speaks a lot." He hops off his horse.
Speaks a lot, but doesn't speak for all of us.
What Sarah said. He walks up.
No need to apologize for the dwarf. I've dealt with many of them. I consider them kin, although this one is a little annoying.
We do have questions if you are able to answer. What is the name of your organization first? If you do not mind sharing.
I plan on telling you, but first there's a question that I asked that is yet to be answered, and that is, what brings you here? To kill a beast of shadow is not specific enough. Why have you come into the Mirkwood?
And I look at everybody and I tell them, don't say anything else. Don't answer him.
Yeah.
Question for the DM.
Yes.
When we woke up in the wagon, were we already in the Mirkwood, or are we on our way into the Mirkwood?
You were in the plains outside of the forest, and then you guys went into the Mirkwood afterwards, of your own free will, on a wagon.
Maglor, have you followed us since we entered the Mirkwood, or have you been following us even before we entered the Mirkwood?
Make a persuasion check.
9.
It's okay, I rolled a 1.
He just like expounds everything. I just can't help myself. I just want to talk.
When I was 5, I stole a thing from my family.
I never had any friends growing up. I just live in the woods. Elves live a really long time, so if you start when he was 5, we might have a long conversation. Personally, no, I was not following you before you came into the Mirkwood. However, as soon as you entered the Mirkwood, I was aware of your presence, and I have been watching from a distance. All that being said, we saw what took place outside. Why, after breaking yourselves free, did you come into the Mirkwood?
Cyrell says, I do not want to betray my party's intentions. He looks at Dala and sighs. But we came of knowledge of old rundown town somewhere in the Mirkwood. Can you tell us anything about this place?
There are a lot of old rundown towns and ruins and empty places in the Mirkwood. Can you be more specific about where? If you don't remember specifically, you can just tell me whether or not.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to phrase it. I think Cyrell would give him the general direction. He's not going to say like hey, we're trying to follow this path and blah, 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 but he's going to try to give him like general, this is where we think it's nearby type thing. Have you heard of a town in there?
Don't recall
Well,
it. Good.
He said he can't help us, then why are we still talking to him?
Boy, yeah.
He could probably hurt us.
To be specific, he said that he wasn't going to help you deal with the threat that was immediately ahead, not that he can't help you. Yeah, he wasn't going to fight with you if you went forward. He was going to leave you to that decision. So instead, he took that decision away from you, which is a morally gray area, but sometimes creatures of exceeding power have reasons we don't always understand. So
I'll preach. All right.
you share a general idea. I've been through the Mirkwood more times than I care to count. He ponders for a moment. There is no town in that area. There is a small ruin, a former outpost that was taken by the Dark Lord long, long, long ago. Its name was Haradrin. Harad.
1 minute, please. Thank you. Can you start over?
Haradrin.
Harad.
Haradrin.
Thank you.
Haradrin. If that is indeed where you go, then there's probably some things that I can tell you. But before we get to that, I think it's important to tell you what I have observed over the last few days. The ancient ruins that you're going to, there is a foul presence that you should be prepared for. There is a wretchedness about these ruins. If you go, it may be impossible to stop yourself from being touched by the shadow. It is oppressive. However, when I look at your group, and as I've followed you over the last week, I've realized something very interesting. Each of you are special in some way. Cyrell, as I already mentioned, I see within you a penchant for intuition. Silverdune, behind your cheeky dwarven facade, a man of integrity, but try not to let your anger get the best of you. You have the ability to sense the darkness, much like Cyrell. You can learn and must learn to harness that power if you're going to be successful. Your anger is going to be your downfall if you let it. Dala, you don't seem to like me very much, but I can tell you this. You are here for a reason. Iluvatar does not tell us everything. There are secrets that never leave the timeless halls. But he has brought you to this group. Trust them. Trust your instincts. Sarah, you have a gift. One that inspires your fellowship. Focus on that, because the Mirkwood, as you venture towards Haradrin, will only grow darker. Edrahel, get some rest. You look dreadful. Here. He whistles gently, and from the ridge over to the left where he had come down, a white mare trots slowly down to your location, comes up beside him. No saddle or anything else. Her skin is white. Her tail and mane are equally pure white. The only thing dark would be right near the bottom of her hose. Her name is Alagos. She is smart and swift and will serve you well, friend. He looks at you, Edrahel, and gives you a nod towards Alagos. I should go now. However, I will tell you the name of my organization. It's the Silver Hand. When you're done in the Mirkwood, should you survive Haradrim and leave more or less intact, find us. Don't let anyone know that you're looking. I will tell you 2 names. The first is Emin Arnen. That's 2 words, Emyn, Arnen, Emin Arnen. It's a small area of hills just west of Mordor, near Osgiliath. Within Arnen, there's a forest, nowhere near as large as the Mirkwood. It's maybe a kilometer wide. But within the forest is a fortress named Tarnost. The fortress is named Tarnost, and Tarnost is spelled Tarnost, just for you guys. When you're done in Mirkwood, come visit. Do not make your plans known. There are many who would see you fall to darkness. I do not claim to know all paths, but there's something about yours that draws me. Lastly, there's a young man fled into the Mirkwood 27 days ago. I've been following him as well. I believe that his thread is meant to be woven with yours. Go to him. This circle, as you so aptly called it, Sarah, is now closed. Continue on the path you are on, and in a short while you will find a young man and his horse. Try to greet him a little bit nicer than you greeted me. Not everyone will approach you with grace. Give them a chance. Cyril, Nebuchadnezzar, the 2 of you have the ability to spot agents of darkness. Use that. Trust that. And if you don't sense it, give them the benefit of the doubt. And he looks over at Adrahel, the rest of the party. I hope to see you soon in Emin Arnen. Looks at Adrahel. Nalwe Gavan Edvin, which just means until we next meet. And with that, he disappears.